Good afternoon, dear students.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Okay, today we should speak about the intonation of alternative questions. At our last lesson, we spoke about the intonation of disjunctive question, yeah? Can you remember? First, we should consolidate the learned material because then we should continue the new material of the lesson. Okay, at that time we told you that disjunctive questions consist of two separate intonation groups, and the first part is pronounced with a low fall, the second part is pronounced with a low rising nuclear tone. You are a student, aren't you? Or sometimes it can be used in both parts. It can be used low falling nuclear tone in disjunctive question when the speaker doesn't expect the response of the listener, when the speaker is not interested in the listener's response. The question tag is pronounced with the falling intonation group. So, for example, you will state it to you, won't you? Here, I'm not eager to know whether you will stay or not. So that is why I used falling tune in the question tag even. And today we should speak about the intonation of alternative questions. Yeah, alternative question is also consists of two parts. Yeah, and the first part of the alternative question looks like a general question. Yeah, general question. So that is why it is pronounced with the low rising nuclear tone. For example, are you a student or a teacher? Are you at home or at work? Do you like ice cream or a cake? Yeah. Do you like a cup of hot tea or milk? Yeah. So the first part of these examples are pronounced with the low rising nuclear tone, and second part is pronounced with the low falling nuclear tone. And you, please, each one of you, try to give your own examples with the alternative questions, please. Any volunteer? Shafru.
Are you a doctor or pilot?
Are you a doctor or a pilot? Are you a doctor or a pilot? Okay, right, you are. You used the correct intonation group in your example. Okay, Sabahat, your example, please.
Can you give me a notebook or a pen?
Can you give me your notebook or a pen? Okay.
Or a...
بالرخصة. Alternative question.
Do you like watching TV or reading a book?
Do you like watching TV or reading a book? Okay, so in all these examples, the first part of alternative questions are pronounced with the low rising nuclear tone. Yeah, the second part is pronounced with the low falling nuclear tone. Here in alternative question, there is a choice, and it's not a question which we should answer yes or no. We shouldn't give yes or no replies, yeah, to this question. We should give a complete answer to this type of question. But as for the general question, we should give a short answer, yes or no. For example, are you a student? We should say yes, I am, or no, I am not. But here there is a choice. We should choose one part of the alternative question and we should give a complete answer here. Are you a student or a doctor? Can we reply yes or no to this kind of question? No, we're keeping silent. So we cannot give yes or no responses to alternative questions, yeah? If I ask you, are you a student or a doctor? Answer my question, please. Gul Rukhsar, for example. Are you a student or a doctor?
I'm a student.
I am a student. As you can see, she has chosen one part of the alternative question and gave a complete answer. Yeah, this is the difference between general question and which one alternative question. Yeah, this alternative question. So the sequence of tones in alternative question is low rise plus low fall. Yeah. Now we will do exercises together with you. Can you see? Intonation of alternative questions. Yeah. For example, pay attention to the model. Is it visible to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you like tea or coffee? Would you like tea or coffee? Here, pay attention. T is the nucleus of the first non-final intonation group. And there is a syntagm here. Yeah. This is the mark of a separate intonation group. And that is why T is the last syllable of an intonation group, which is called the nucleus here. And T is pronounced with the low rising nuclear tone here. And as for coffee, coffee is the last stressed syllable of the second non-final intonation group, and that is why it is pronounced with the low falling nuclear tone. So the next one, has she a brother or a sister? Pay attention to the next example. Has she a brother or a sister? And now, so exercise 1, pay attention to exercise 1. Ask your fellow student the following alternative questions. Now we will do this exercise together with you. It's given a model here. Is he a doctor? Is he a doctor or a teacher? Is he a doctor or a teacher? Again, here, pay attention. The second part here is pronounced with the low falling nuclear tone, not the low rise, because the speaker is not so sure, is not so interested, yeah, to know your response. So that is why he has used the low falling nuclear tone in both. The next example, is your name Peter or Nick? Is your name Peter or Nick? Answer my question, Gülruhsar, please.
Or Nick.
So my name is
Nick.
Shahru. How do
My
you
name is
answer the alternative question?
My name is Peter, for example.
Yes. Are you 20 or 21?
I am 20.
I'm 20.
Good. And the next example, are you a student or a teacher?
I am a student.
I'm a student.
Are you a first or a second year student? Are you a first
I am
or a second year
year-
student?
Your student.
Turn by turn, please. Gülruhsar, answer my question. Are you a first or a second year student?
I'm a first year student.
Okay, good. The next one. So, the next example. Do you live at home or in the hostel? Do you live at home or in the hostel?
I live at home.
Do you take exam in English? Do you take exam in English in the fourth or in the third course?
I take an exam in English in the first course.
In the fourth course, yeah. Okay. Do you read the time? Do you read the Times or the Moscow News? You know that the Times and the Moscow News, they are the names of newspapers, yeah, famous ones.
Yes.
So each one of us know about them. And so let me read the question once more. Do you read the Times or the Moscow News? So answer the question, please.
I read the Times.
I read the Times.
Are there 15 or 14 faculties in our university?
There are 13 faculties in our university.
Have you got a small or a large family?
I have got a small family.
Once more.
I have a small family. I have got a small family.
Okay, good. The next example. Have you a sister or a brother?
I have a brother.
I've got two sisters,
For
example. I've got a sister.
Good. Okay. The next exercise. Pay attention to the next exercise, please. Make up alternative questions using the following sentences. She lives in Moscow. She lives in Kiev. And we should form an alternative question with these sentences, with the help of these two sentences. Does she live in Moscow or in Kiev? Understand the task of the exercise? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And now we will continue. So this text is difficult. This text is easy. So is this text difficult or easy?
Or easy.
Yeah. So here we use low rise in the first part and a low fall in the second part of this, alternative question. And Shahruh, you please read the second example. She studies German. She studies English.
And does she study German or English?
So you are right in the structure of the alternative question, but as for the intonation of your example, I don't agree with you. Just clarify, please. Let us identify the intonation pattern you used in your example. Repeat it once more.
Does she German?